Welcome to Mediacom Channel 22, and it's time for another edition of our Columbia Cougars Coaches Show. And with us here again on this issue is head coach and athletic director of Columbia College, Bob Burchard. Welcome again, Bob.
Thanks, Cosmo. It's good to be talking with you this time of year.
Yes.
Great time for basketball.
Most definitely. Thanks again for the invite to the office and the locker room, and a lot of compliments on that edition. A lot of people had not seen the new edition with the Kepke Center and the workout facility, and had a couple of my coworkers at Zimmer Radio Group talking about how they were impressed with that, and they got glued into watching kind of a little backstage pass, if you will. So
well, I thought
cool.
it was great to be over at the facility, and we appreciate you coming over and visiting with us there. We do have a lot of compliments on it, Cosmo, and I think one of the things that we enjoy staff-wise is when you get out and travel to other places, we feel very fortunate to come back home and have the level of facilities that we do at Columbia College.
Most definitely, and I know a lot of your fans that you guys travel very well. A lot of the fans have made comments to me at different times saying, "Wow, we've got it pretty good with that Southwell Complex setup is pretty sharp." Home or away, right now your Cougars bouncing back here, have won 3 in a row, climbed back into that top 25 in at number 19. And let's flash back a little bit to the last couple of games. On the road at Hannibal LaGrange was another dogfight of a game. They're a good basketball team, and you had to turn it on, and that defensive pressure of yours, turning the ball over, turning some points that were crucial down the stretch to get that win.
Well, I think all games right now are going to be, that way. Cosmo, it's just that time of year in basketball. I think everybody's still fighting for positioning, still fighting, when you get into these last weeks of where you're going to be seed-wise and for conference tournaments. And you're on the road, and road games are a challenge always. The teams just play so much better on their court. Hannibal has always played us tough, but they do that to others as well as it played out later in the week. But we were very fortunate to come out on top. Again, it was I think the defensive intensity, as you mentioned, was a critical part of our success. We right now are still around the #1 team in the nation in points allowed, and we take great pride in that, and it certainly played a major factor in that game.
Yeah, and again, as you mentioned later in the week, that Hannibal team went on to knock off Park in a basketball game, which helps you out in the conference standings a little bit, at least with a game advantage with yourself and McKendree now tied in the lead with just 2 losses, and Park has 3 now. So we'll play who beat who and what happens here as you kind of watch a little bit down the stretch here of these games. Next was back at Southwell Complex, and Missouri Baptist came into town. The Spartans again, another hard-fought conference victory here down the stretch.
Missouri Baptist is a very athletic team, Cosmo. I think their point guard is very dangerous and really puts a lot of pressure on you. I thought the first half we went in down, and I thought our team really adjusted well at half, and we're. I think our team is pretty thoughtful about attacking a game, and we really made some adjustments at the halftime. Came out with some real strong intensity, and that first group that we had, our starting group, basically played the entire second half, and we had a lot of comments about that, which I find fascinating. Maybe because people remember back to the 5-on-5 substitution pattern, and we've always played so many guys, and we still do. And what was really fascinating, Cosmo, is that team just played great, and they played great together. And I really enjoyed watching how they attacked that second half, and we just let them ride.
Yeah.
And I remember telling our guys right at the end when we took all those guys out, was I really want all of you, we're going to sub all 5 out right now, and I really want you to go out there and congratulate those guys for playing the game at that level. And they did, and I think, as a team, we really appreciated to see that 5 play the game at that high level.
When they came out, you guys had a 13-0 run to start that second half that really fueled it. And I do remember that substitution moment. The crowd was into it as well, giving them all a round of applause. They came back off to the sideline after a big-time second half that you really had to have to come away with that victory. And then you get the makeup game from the Blizzard week, the long trip down to Williams Baptist in Arkansas, come away with a win. And we were talking a little before we started filming the episode with a 6.5-hour, whatever it is, bus trip on the White Knight buses, which are great to have, but you split it up into a little bit on a couple different days. talk us through a little bit of how that factors into how you plan a long trip like that.
Well, it was a little bit different for us this time around because it was a Monday game as a rescheduled game. Gave us a little bit of flexibility to avoid missed class time, which was nice. We traveled on Sunday. We don't normally practice a ton Sunday afternoon. We go Sunday evening sometime, but we got a good workout in the middle of the afternoon, which is a little bit different. Got on the bus and drove down to West Plains, which is about a 3-hour trip for us. We have some friends at Missouri State University West Plains there, and we got to meet up with them, and they've got some players that we're interested in. They're a junior college, and so that worked out well, and they allowed us to use their facility on Monday to get a good workout in, break up the day again in our preparation, and then traveled on into Arkansas for the contest. You know, what's really interesting in all of athletics, but so much of it's routine and preparation and how you get set up for a game. And hopefully over a long season you kind of encounter all different game times and different situations. We like to practice on game days, and I think it really helps the team get prepared. And we were very fortunate West Plains would let us come in and do that. And then you know, the game was again another highly competitive game, Cosmo, and I guess they're all going to be that way down to the wire as the season winds up.